everybody, my name is Chip Dodd with ThisABILITY Adventures, and the following video is a course overview of Kick Me in the Jimmy 2020. Let me go into a screen share and show you the slide. Let's see if I can get this to work. There we go. So for those of you who grew up when I did, roughly, I don't know, I'm 47 or so, you were knowledgeable about Beavis and Butthead. And so Kick Me in the Jimmy is one of our fun play on words for adventure racers who love to have pain over and over and over. But even though we call it Kick Me in the Jimmy, this course is designed for people that are fairly new to racing. It's pretty straightforward, typical navigation. It does have a paddle section, which gets a little crazy in the wintertime. But it's a great course for people that are new to ADR and just want to have a great time with friends and family out in the woods. Okay, so let me get into Kick Me in the Jimmy after we go over to the basics, which is head over to our website and review the How It Works page, because our virtual adventure challenges, although they're very similar to Adventure Race, you know, there's no flags out there. We use the GPX watch or your cell phone to track your track to turn in to get results. So it's a little bit complicated. It's a little different than other race models. So please check this out first before kind of watching the video so you kind of get a feeling for how our courses work. And then the other thing, of course, click the link to do the gear list and look at basically the gear strategy and virtual adventure challenges should be the same as in an adventure race. The stuff is there for safety. So we pretty much use the USARA gear list, but just be safe. If you're out there, like in the 20 degrees and snow, then you know, carry enough gear so that you got layers, and obviously if it's 80 degrees then you're not so worried about that. But just be safe out there. Obviously it's a virtual course, so nobody's there to check your gear to make sure you're following the rules. All right, so let's go look at Kick Me in the Jimmy. This course is going to be in the James River State Park, which is in Gladstone, Virginia, and nobody knows where that is. So let's start with Richmond is over here on the right. This is Appomattox, Lynchburg, Virginia, Charlottesville, Virginia, and that's basically Afton Mountain area right there. So Kick Me in the Jimmy is right here in the middle of all this. It's right on the James River. It is a really cool park, and it hasn't been used that much in adventure racing. I think Adventure Addicts did a race there, but a couple years ago. But other than that, I haven't seen anybody do a course here. So it's a hidden gem, and it does have some really good mountain biking single track, which is not usual in many state parks. Okay, so let's start off with the basic course flow, how this is going to work. So there is a paddle, a trek, and a bike section. On this course, you pretty much need to do it in order because of the way we had the course designed. All checkpoints, both the endurance points, the adventure points, and the pro points, they're all optional. You don't have to get them in any order, although it's in your best interest to get them in order, as you'll see by the course flow. So we use the visitor center as the start finish, which it's funny on this map. I have no idea where it is. Let me see. That's the amphitheater. Okay, so this is probably the visitor center over here. Actually, it's right there. Okay, so the visitor center is going to be your start finish. But before you get there, we're going to ask you to come into the park and drop your boat here, down in this area. We like to use pack rafts, so we can ball them up and put them in the woods and put a tarp over it. Nobody knows it's there. But if you're going to use a canoe or some other, maybe kayak, maybe some type of hard boat, stand-up paddleboard, I mean, basically you can do this section of the river with just about anything you want. And in the summertime, you know, they rent tubes, so people go down just tubing for 45 minutes or an hour. It is a little tiny bit of whitewater, just like ripples, like class 1, where, oh my gosh, if you get tipped out, it's ankle deep. So you do have to be prepared that if something happened and you got wet, you know, you got to be able to sort yourself out. But there's nothing dangerous on it unless you were just trying to kill yourself on water. So either way, come into the park, drop your boat down here, lock your boat to a tree, do whatever you got to do, but it's going to be unattended. So that's up to you to, if you feel safe about it or not. You know, obviously we're not responsible if your boat gets stolen, but so do whatever you need to do. Okay, so then you head over to start finish, which is right about there. And the race starts. And so what you're going to do is you're going to trek on foot, getting checkpoints through the park, making your way over to your boat. You're going to jump on the boat. You're going to get checkpoints on the James River all the way around. And then there's a boat landing right here. So this is going to be the boat takeout. Same thing with before. You're gonna ditch your boat in the woods, lock it to a tree, however you want to do it. Roll your pack rafts up and hide it in the woods with a camouflage tarp, but you're going to be leaving your boat unattended at the takeout right there. So now you're back on foot again. So you're transitioning to foot, and you're going to get some more checkpoints and make your way back to the car. At this point, you want to transition over to your bike. So the bike section basically is a big loop through the park, all the way around, and then back to your car. And so obviously I'm not going to tell you exactly the course, but I just want to give you a general flow of the course. So it's trek, paddle, trek, bike. Theoretically, if you wanted, you could do the bike section first, make it back to your car, and then go do the trek, paddle, trek. But obviously the trek, paddle, trek's got to be done in order because the river flows in one direction, and you are self-supported during this course. It is in a state park. There's going to be other people there, including horses. So we definitely want you to be polite to other people that are using the park. Horses are also tricky because a lot of them haven't been around mountain bikes. And so if you're overtaking a horse from the back, make sure you make noise. You definitely want to scare the horse. You may want to ask the person on the horse, are you able to pass? Or maybe they want to pull over, but horses don't like to have noises from behind that they don't know what's coming. Just be polite there. Let me look. Okay, this course is mostly a dead zone with cell phones, especially in the deep kind of reentrance in the mountainous sections. So you definitely got to be prepared that if anything happened, you're going to have to self-extract because you may not be able to call 911. We do recommend in this course, especially if you have a spot tracker or a Garmin InReach or some other GPX emergency communication device, this is the time to use it because this is one of those places that, you know, if you're a solo racer, you got hurt, you're going to be there a while. So, so be extremely careful on this course. It's not a very populated state park. You're only around the campgrounds and stuff. You'll see some people, but out here in the trails where we're taking you in the backcountry of this course, there is, especially in the wintertime, you're not going to see many people out there riding mountain bikes and stuff. Horses would be the only person you'd see. I think a lot of the campgrounds are also shut down other than the cabins. So this is a course, even though it's a straightforward course, there's nothing extremely technically challenging. The mountain biking is moderate. It's not that challenging. It's mostly safety if something happened. Emergency services are not. One is you probably can't call them with your cell phone. And the other thing, if you did call them, they're going to be a long way away. So this is a course to be especially safe. Carry extra gear so that if you, let's say you did get hurt and it's going to be a few hours before they get there and it's cold, you want to be able to, you know, bring extra layers, bring a rain jacket, bring space blankets, do whatever you got to do so that even in the wintertime, sitting down with a broken ankle, you'd be okay for hours while you're waiting on rescue. This is a great course to do with a team. So although I know some of you don't care and are going to do it as a solo racer, I get it. I was a solo racer for the beginning of my AR career. This is one of them courses that you might want to pick to be with a teammate just because if something happened, at least you've got a chance at getting somebody to get you out of there. So just be safe. This is for fun. It's not a USARA Nationals event, so we don't have to get hurt to win. Just have a good time. Let me see, anything else? Who should give this a shot? When it comes down to young kids, would probably be okay on the majority of this course. The southern bike section down here has a couple little steep declines, but the majority of the biking in this is very straightforward. It's either groomed single track or gravel roads and stuff, double track. If it was wet, it might be a little slick. There is quite a bit of rooty sections. There are some rocky sections, not rock gardens like big rocks, but there's some rocky sections. But slippery routes on climbs and descents that can pitch you over pretty easily. So so be careful. Again, you can cut some of the checkpoints if you needed to. This bike section in the middle here is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of tough biking. So the only bike area, this is the area down at the southern section where the biking is a little bit harder. Other than that, it's a great family-friendly course. The water is the other thing. If you're not proficient in whitewater you may want to wait till later in the year when the water warms up before you do it. It's very unlikely to get tipped out, but it's water, it's moving water, it's white water, and it's cold water. So in the wintertime at least. So use your judgment and wait till it gets warm if you're not positive that you can have experience doing this type of thing. So, okay, that's it. That is Kick Me in the Jimmy. As always, please give us a call or email or get us on Facebook or whatever. We're happy to answer any questions that you have, and enjoy the course. Thanks for watching.